Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
Okay, all right. Yes, man. Yes. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on with everybody out there? I am here. One more episode. I know you guys, you're probably saying, oh man, Nova, you said you was going to bring it. Hey man, shit happens. I can't be everywhere. I don't have 8 arms. Sometimes I can make it, sometimes I can't. I try. I do really try to really follow up with some things that I say. But I mean, everything literally overlaps, man. Everything literally overlaps, and I try to get to it. So I'm sorry, folks, if I can't get to it. I'm only human. I'm limited in my abilities to do certain things, but it is what it is. But I'm here. How has your week been? Hopefully it was all glorious. It was all educational. It was everything that you wanted it to be. We're just passing this Memorial Day weekend, and it's been cool. It's been cool. So let's just get right to it, man, because I want to get through this show and move on to other things. I like to just mention I did a photo shoot last week with Shiny Photographer. It was totally, man. I set it out there on Facebook. And I got a response off of Facebook, and that one photographer, because I was looking for photographers for it, he said he couldn't do it. I said it on Twitter. I put it out on Twitter. Someone responded. I was completely surprised, because I thought the photographer I was going to get at was going to be someone that was going to link, but this was purely something that happened. So I guess I posted it on, because I asked him. His name is Johnny. He's a photographer like 10 years plus. And how he searches for work is he goes on Twitter and he does a keyword search if anything pops up, like photo shoot, photography, New York, and he goes where he needs to go. He'll go anywhere. So he hit me up on Twitter and we made the connections. And I found the studio. He even offered one on Peerspace. Peerspace is a great app where you can try to, if you need to find a space for whatever you need to do, photo shoot, whatever, office space, whatever for the time being, if it's a meeting in a moment. And I found one, Studio One, by Arseny. So I got my man Shiny, his photographer, and Arseny that runs Studio One out of Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and it was beautiful. It was utterly beautiful. I had a good time. Everybody, Arseny put in his 2 cents on how to get what we wanted out of the shoot. Man, I really did have a good time, and I'm looking forward to really reaching out to Shiny and Studio One, ran by Arseny and his people. And it's gonna be beautiful, man. It's really, really, really dope. So it went really well. And I posted some pictures on my IG and my Facebook just to show, and I had a ton of pictures, but I only did 4 or 5. So just a couple of things that I wish I could have done, but it is what it is, on just spur in the moment, because I needed photos. So shout out to Johnny and shout out to Arseny. So all right, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. This is Nova Phoenix. I'm your host on GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. And what we have in Texas, look, everybody knows what happened in Texas. This guy, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, he shot like 19 children and 2 teachers, and shot and killed. It was so unfortunate. Man, this was definitely something. I mean, I don't know how many times that this is supposed to happen. I really don't get how. No, I do understand. I really do understand. It's not rocket science. It's not like a freaking Rubik's Cube puzzle. We know exactly why politicians don't do anything about it. We know exactly why the local police kind of goofed this whole thing up. We know the deal. And you know, politicians, as we know, you elect these folks, and I didn't elect these folks. I'll say in general, these politicians, they're supposed to be representatives of their constituency, the people that voted for them. But time and time again, when tragedy happens to this extent, and you hear politicians really take the other side, obviously they have been bought by lobbyists or whoever is funneling money to them, because it's ridiculous. It crushed me as a parent. It crushed me as just a human being that so many these children, their innocence was snatched away. They're the very beginning of their lives, you know, and this happens, and they had nothing to do with this monster Salvador Ramos, who he ended up buying AR-15 as soon as he turned 18, and he spent like a couple $1,000, and he shot his grandmother or something, and then he went off and ran into a school and shot a bunch of kids and teachers that were just. It's the fact is that this. I mean, you go and you take your kids to school, and you want them to have a good day. You want them to learn. You want them to build relationships at their young age, because we've all been through it, and this is something that they should experience. And the last thing that you would think, the last thing that would cross your mind, is that you would have to worry about some crazed lunatic breaking into the school and start shooting kids, children indiscriminately without any rhyme or reason. And there's no way I can in any way try to understand or match the pain and the hurt and the trauma and the utter despair what every parent had to go through, figuring out that this happened at the school, and then finding out that their child died because of this situation. I mean, the more and more the story goes on, the weeks go by, you find out these officers, it was just, I don't know what they were on. I mean, the officers didn't go into school. I mean, they were trying to stop parents from going in, and they was just chilling and waited. And I guess they were waiting for the equivalent to SWAT. I forgot, it was Border Patrol, SWAT, something like that, to come in and enter the school and neutralize the threat, of course, of this shooter. And even when that team came, the local police on the ground was still holding them off, to the point where those individuals got tight and they say, hey, we going in. The DPS, Department of Public Safety, said in an interview saying the police that arrived on scene did not want to enter the school because they were concerned they were going to get shot. Listen, this is your job. My God, this is your job. Let's keep it real. Cops don't have, it's not like Starsky and Hutch. It's not like Batman and Robin. It's not like any TV show where it's constant, action and they're jumping over cars and jumping across from building to building. That's TV. Most of the time, cops' job is pretty mundane. Every day, they're waiting on the block. They're on the beat. They're sitting in the car for hours on end. Nothing really jumps off until it jumps off. But when you have them, and of course they're trained, right? They're trained. They've gone through the academy, all this, a variety of different situations, and they keep, supposedly, as they say, they keep getting retrained, right? So now the situation happens where now their training has to come to a test. And what happens? What happens in Texas? What happens? They absolutely do nothing. They do at most their fight was taken up with the parents that was charging or trying to run up in the school or questioning the cops to say, hey, what are you guys doing? Are you not going inside to save my children? And they actually were arresting people. I heard allegedly a parent got tased. One parent actually got handcuffed. Her name is I think Angela Rose Gomez. She actually got handcuffs, figured her way out of the handcuffs, I guess negotiated, saying, okay, I'm not going to do anything. Of course, she wasn't going for that. She was just trying to get into school to save her kids. She ran into the school and got her 2 kids out and escaped the building. without anybody knowing. Crazy. Now, it's funny. They said this woman found out about what was going on, drove 40 miles to the school. She ain't got no training. She didn't have a gun on her. She didn't have nothing but the strength of a mother to go up in that school and bravery to get her kids out. She wasn't going to listen to any one of those cops. She ran in there and she got her kids. And here it is. We got the local police that they said the budget for that police in terms of training and equipment and guns and whatever they were getting for their local police department, all that shit, all that money spent. I mean, the budget was ballooned. I spoke about this on the show before. Ballooned out of crazy, the numbers for the budget, and look where it's gotten any one of those cops. Nowhere. Nothing, man. They didn't do a damn thing with all that bullshit excuses talking about we need a budget for training and for guns and for equipment and all these things. And what did it amount to? Diddly squat. And that's for shame. And you know, they're all over on CNN and all over the news programs, all this. Of course, they are copping a plea, boy. They copping a plea. They lying left and right. They're trying to control this situation. And right now, America and the world is looking at Texas. Uvalde, I think it's called Uvalde. Let me get this right, because I'm going to say it. Uvalde, Texas. Let me see, Uvalde. Texas shooting. Excuse me, I forget the name of the place, and I think it's Uvalde. It's a strange name, Uvalde. It's funny, you think you hear every word, and then all of a sudden something happens, and Uvalde, Texas. And here it is. Everyone's looking at Uvalde, Texas. Uvalde, and it's the Keystone Coppers. It's straight up Police Academy. What was that movie called? Police Academy. That comedy back in the day, slapstick police. I think it was called Police Academy, right? Movies. It's right, exactly. They had like 6 or 7 different movies of that. It was straight out of Police Academy, that movie, that goofball movie. I don't know what was on their mind. And the thing about it, it's not even, the situation itself was crazy, but what was crazier, of course, was the aftermath on how they were trying to control the words that was surrounding this whole clusterfuck of a situation. Especially when it came to Ted Cruz and Governor Abbott. I mean, Governor Abbott actually said, and everybody knows, it could have been worse. What are you talking about? It could have been worse. It could have been worse? What can be worse than 19 children getting shot? What can be worse than that? Well, you want the hell, the flames of hell to crack open and the devil himself come out? There is nothing worse that can happen where 19 children's lives get snuffed out in a blink of an eye that no one was expecting out of nowhere. What is he talking about? Yo, I don't understand. You know what? The funny thing is you would expect that coming from Governor Abbott and coming from Ted Cruz. Even Ted Cruz got ambushed in some restaurant, and of course what people do, they pretend to take a picture with him, and they think they're one of their loyal constituents, and they all of a sudden they turn their heads on him, and they're like, nah, I'm here to really question it. He was giving them the business. They were, of course you had people coming behind the guy trying to pull him away, and Ted Cruz just standing there like a dun-dun-dun, staring at this guy, and this guy is on the take, and all the people that were sitting at the table, that's more than likely his family, and all of them are complicit in this situation. They're not saying a goddamn thing. And to see this dude standing right there looking like a fucking fool, Ted Cruz, and I'm like, this is the guy you voted for. But what gets me is not so much as that. Not so much as the fact that Senator Ted Cruz or Governor Abbott said what they said. Of course I'm going to get upset with that. But what I'm more concerned with, what gets me even more, are the people that are constantly voting for them. You have a mass of people that's unreal, that it's unreal to me. Unreal. And I'm not even trying to insult people here. What I'm trying to do is examine the mentality of the very folks that vote against their own interests. That you can have something so powerful that it actually sways the decision making of the masses, of the people that vote for Senator Ted Cruz and Governor Abbott, where you can literally pour hot tar down the throats of these people and they will still vote for Governor Abbott and Senator Ted Cruz. And what they say actually has an effect over their voting power. That is what is concerning when you have a mass of people that continue to year in and year out, term in and term out, vote for people that continuously in their face destroy their quality of life. And all they have to do is, whenever election time comes around, all they have to do is talk that same rhetoric, and repeat and regurgitate the same bullshit tropes against other people, the otherized folks, and the folks that vote for them and say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm going to vote for you. And when they get in, they continuously shit on these people. That is the amazing. It is something that comes out of a science fiction movie. I shit you not. I'm an independent. Everybody knows I'm an independent. So I only go on actions. I'm tired of the talk. I don't want to hear it because, I voted for Democrat for many years. But then, of course, you get hip to the game. You say, okay, what am I getting out of this? Specifically, what are black people getting out of this? But more as a voter, as a citizen, okay, what are the people getting out of this? And if it's the same thing day in and day out, I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to keep doing that because I see what's happening. I study it. I watch the news. I read a bunch of articles. I see actions. I don't care about words. I don't care how you excite people during your campaign tour, going from state to state, city to city, and you say the same thing. And then when it comes in to you get in, you do jack shit. I'm tired of seeing that. And to know that these people continuously, it is amazing. It really is a show to watch. It really is a show to watch, man. That these people don't get fed up and say, you know what, you're not really doing it. Forget all the things about the otherize, how they otherize people, and you push racism aside. You push the thing about the anti-government. Just push that aside. What are these politicians doing for you to improve your life? And they don't get nothing. They get pennies, but yet they continuously vote these people in. I don't care who you are, Republican, Democrat. If you're not doing what you're saying that you were going to do, and there's obvious obstruction, you're doing nothing to try to circumvent that obstruction or to neutralize that obstruction, then what use are you to me? And you're just going to kick the can down the road and say, well, I tried, but maybe the next election, vote for me. Vote for X Mr. ... Nah, or Miss whatever. Nah. I'm tired of hearing that, because you're saying that, and all the while the odds are being continuously, incrementally stacked against me to crush my quality of life. Whether it comes to medical care, whether it comes to jobs, adequate salary, city living, whether you're renting or mortgage, cars, taxes, every single thing incrementally gets worse, crushing my life. And you're trying to lick a lollipop and shove it up my ass like we're having some freaky ass night. That it's gonna be all good, and then we gonna make it nice. And next morning I'm just gonna rub my head on your shoulder and caress your cheek and say, "Oh, you treated me so well." So it amazes me, man. I'm just watching I'm watching the constituency. I'm like, yo, when are you guys actually gonna say, nah, you ain't me? And the only thing that excites them is more of those anti-otherized type of talk. So I even heard allegedly some of the cops even went into the building and got their own kids out. I don't know. They said it was, but there's so many lies that's going around. You can't even begin to believe anything of what anyone says coming from that police department down there and any local politician. It's like, it's so much craziness going down there. You just staring at the TV like, really, bro? I don't even know. So right now the FBI is investigating. They're trying to get a clear timeline of what happened, who were the actors that were involved, everyone that was on the ground. That, of course, at this point we see it as being a clusterfuck. So the FBI is fully engaged in this. It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out and see what they come up. Obviously, the whole shit is been a circus. So is any heads going to roll here? I'm sure they're going to be the police chief. I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be quitting and doing all those sort of things. But then, of course, it comes in a question of the purpose of police officers, because constantly it's always being talked about. They need a bigger budget. They need more weapons. They need more guns. They need more training. They need more military type of weapons and equipment. They need RVs and rovers. I mean, they have gotten everything they've needed, and still not only do they goof a situation like this or what happened in Texas, but especially when it comes in particularly African American people and Latinos, all those other folks, POCs. Not only do they goof real type of situations, but they've actually been used to ticket or harass or actually kill black folk and other folks that get caught up in the melee, that get caught up by racist hands. So the whole world, the whole United States is looking at it and they'll say, so what is your purpose again? I mean, yeah, you're always going to have those diehard people, but then you have to question it. If you're getting all this money and you can't even deal with a simple situation, not simple, I want to say simple, but let's say what you have been trained for, what you said that you're preparing for, and you can't do that, then shoot, we might as well do this ourselves. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that thing's going to turn out. Rest in peace to Ray Liotta, man. Ray Liotta is a terrific actor. Unfortunately, he died. I think he died in his sleep, filming another movie, I think in Dominican Republic. It's very sad. Everybody knows Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. He was in Smoking Aces. He was in the movie Copland with Sylvester Stallone. Killing Them Softly, Karina, starring Whoopi Goldberg. He played Shoeless Joe Jackson in Kevin Costner Field of Dreams many years ago. Terrific actor. This gentleman had a true talent. He really conveyed that emotion of his characters on screen. And I really, every time I knew that Ray Liotta was in a movie, he was going to give his utmost best in his craft. So it's unfortunate to hear that he did pass away. Rest in peace. My condolences to the family and to all his close friends. And speaking of politicians, let's get right back to that. It's what I was saying. Did you hear the Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burke of Portsmouth, Virginia? She was throwing F-bombs left and right. She was trying to be, she was playing cool. She was trying to be all, in politics like the Will Smith character. You know how Will Smith always being the nice guy. You got to be professional a certain way when it comes to within certain political circles. Well, she wasn't going for it. Every sentence that she spit out, she was getting more pissed off and frustrated and angry to the point she popped off. She was talking about where city manager Angela Jones was removed because she had information on the serious corruption that was going on with certain council members in Virginia, and she blew the fuck up. She was like, oh man, let me tell you, it's on my IG page. I had to research that, but her energy was the energy that we've all been looking for. So she's been shared a couple times, and she was like, I'm tired of this shit. One person came to my office saying they was offered $3,000 because they wanted her. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. I'm tired of this motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy you need. That's what I'm talking about. I haven't seen that since, as I said before, Adam Clayton Powell, when he was going off. And you know how it was back in the 50s and 60s and United States government and Congress, man, it was racist as hell over. You know how it was going, but he was still a warrior, still a champion. And that's the energy that we need for Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burke. I had to follow her. I'm like, let me see where it's going. She did apologize afterwards at a press conference. I think she was doing it. I don't know if it was related to that or whatever, but she said she apologized for using that language, but she was not going to apologize that she did not let this information out sooner. So she was but she did apologize for not letting it out sooner. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. But yeah, she was on fire. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see in the halls of Congress, because obviously when people don't say anything and people follow the same routine all the time, every 4 years, every 2 years, and people always fall for the promises and on the campaign trail, and incrementally things get worse and worse. And then you asking these politicians and they're like throwing up their hands. Well, I don't know. We got to follow the process. Nah, man, we need people. If you're going to be a city council member, a mayor, a governor, or whatever, and you really want change in the neighborhoods that you represent, in the neighborhoods that you stood up on that pulpit, however you want to call it, on that soapbox, and you're telling you're going to do certain things for the people, and they're like, yeah, you want them, or you want these folks to get that same energy. Keep it. I want to see it. I want to see that fire come out your chest. I want to say, even if you get obstruction, at least let the people know, and the people will be behind you, because it's not just one person. It's the people that also voted for you. So if you are getting obstruction, tell your voters and it will come out for you. So shout out once again to Councilwoman Lisa Lucas Burke. Oh my God. She was handling her business right there, man. Woo! Anyway, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. This is super old. I'm not going to go into a big, review. You've seen enough reviews. Go and see it. It was fun. I loved it. I loved the characters, the storylines. There was one scene that I like. I know this is going to be a big spoiler. There's one scene that I slowly started to turn against. I love the whole movie. I love the way they, but there was one single part that, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's clever. That's interesting. One part. And I was like, nah, I didn't like that. It was when Doctor Strange met his, the Doctor Strange in the universe where he was cooped up in the Sanctorum or whatever like that. And he had the third eye, and they started the battle. So I was thinking it was going to be this massive ill battle. And then all of a sudden they started battling with musical notes. I thought, and then I thought, okay, at the beginning, I was like, okay, they're throwing out notes to each other. They're trying to make it dangerous in the realm of magic. Okay. I thought that was going to be one technique, and they would just bust out other techniques and it would kind of build up. Now the whole battle was musical notes. So I was like, I don't know. That was kind of corny. I think I would have put that on the cutting room floor or redid that scene, because there was no intensity. There was no, when Doctor Strange fought Thanos, I was like, yo, you saw what, the way the tricks that he had up his sleeve, what he has in his bag to fight Thanos, with the big baddie. So you think he was going to get that scene with, they had music. Yeah, it was kind of corny. But other than that, I love the whole joint. I loved it. Big ups. I'm looking forward to the other Marvel movies that's coming out. I'm looking forward to where it's going out. Hopefully Black Panther is good. I've been reading up on Black Panther. Iman the review. Iman is a guy that I follow too on YouTube, and he's he keeps up on it. I saw Namor. Namor looks hot. I like the idea of Namor, and then I saw the interviews with the people, the actors, talking about this was going to be a real not shout out, but in honor of Chadwick Boseman that passed away. It's going to be heartfelt. Okay, we shall see. Oh man, when you see like 4 Spider-Mans on the big screen, you see like 3 Batmans on the big screen, you see the multiverse that's going on with Doctor Strange. all of a sudden, all creativity, all ideas of how you could bring back T'Challa with another character, all of a sudden everybody's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, moving on. Yo, that whole thing with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, I'm not gonna get into it. Trust me, folks, I'm not gonna get into it. I saw some clips. It's I'm like, I don't even know why people are trying to get themselves into this whole thing, but trying to understand. It's just a waste of time. That's all I want to say. I don't understand why people are so intrigued by Johnny Depp Amber Heard court. I mean, it's funny. I don't even know. It's just ridiculous because I'm watching the clips. Amber Heard's lawyer is a goofball. It seems like these people it seems like something out of a movie. These folks are having more fun going through this court case and the actual seriousness of it. So I don't even understand. I mean, ain't nobody asked for this. Ain't nobody asked to get coverage every day on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard court situation. And I'm like, why are y'all playing this? Like, this is like the court case of the year, of the century, of the decade. Like, give me a break. Anyway, I read up there's a Starbucks in Birmingham, Alabama, becoming the first Starbucks to unionize. That's something. Claps to those people. Got to give them up. And I clap for those people because I know what it is to work in retail where you're doing minimum wage up here. And let me tell you something. The minimum wage is going up, but still, this is an expensive ass city. You still going to be rooming with 4 or 5 people, even if they raise the minimum wage for any fast food restaurants or chain restaurants to $12 to $15. It's still crazy, and there are plenty of adults, I said that, plenty of adults that they don't have high wage earning jobs, and they've been in situations. They came out jail. They lack an education. I mean, there are a lot of different paths that people walk that, they make bad decisions, and now they're trying to catch up. And the jobs that they had to take happen to be in these chain restaurants that are paying minimum wage in an expensive ass city. So that's why I'm clapping for Starbucks and for the people I'm clapping for the employees in Starbucks that finally won for them to have that Starbucks in Birmingham, Alabama, to be unionized. Even Mayor Randall Woodfin publicly supports the efforts. Matter of fact, there's 6 stores in total in Buffalo, New York, and one in Arizona that has union representation. Unfortunately, the thing is, of course, with all this unionizing and people just getting together and talking with each other, Starbucks upper management responded to the employees by cutting up to 75% of their working hours, and some of them not even working, so they have to get second jobs to try to kind of fill in the gap. So other than that, they're failing. They're trying to do it, but there's a definite change that's happening in the food retail business and the retail chains because people are tired of getting the short end of the stick. So congrats to all those employees out there that are really sticking to their guns, trying to unionize and get protection as they should in 2022. It's sad that you have so many people that have to deal with a lot of employee disrespect, a lot of employee disregard. And as long as these major companies are making X amount of dollars, they can really give two shits about how employees feel. So it was only going to be a natural turn for employees to start looking to each other to try to get some sort of representation, fair wages, vacation time, any other thing that would make it worthwhile working at jobs in these major chains. So yeah, MIA, man. MIA is dropping a 6th studio album, man. I so happened to bump into it while I'm reading. Her next album is called Mata, M-A-T-A, and it's gonna be the next studio album since the last 6 years. I'm like, yo, where's she been? Matter of fact, where I've been, because I really haven't been catching up to any MIA joints since the first album. So, I got to check myself on that. But yeah, she got a song that's out right now. It's called The One. Check it out on YouTube. I heard the song. It's okay. I don't think it's the best work that she's put out. I think with MIA, she's really not, to me, the strongest singer. So if you're not the strongest singer, you got to have the right production that fits your vibe, your energy, that's really going to take it the rest of the way for your fans. fans and for any new fans that may not have followed MIA in the last bit. So I thought it was a little lackluster, her new single. I don't think I don't think I would have picked that. I think a lot of times artists pick the wrong music, man. And it's just not the right music for it. But big ups to MIA, man. I wish her the best of luck on this next album, that she has another banger in there somewhere where she can do a video on that and get that burn. You know what I mean? Speaking of music, I saw a spin article, actually read a spin article with that was covering Gene Simmons, man. Gene Simmons is the singer and bassist of Kiss the Rock Band. If you don't know who Kiss the Rock Band is, they're a rock band that, Gene Simmons with the guy with the tongue, hanging out, and they was rocking, and they had this big production, and they had long black hair, and they painted their faces white and black, and they had these huge costumes, and they were big back in the 70s and 80s. So, but Gene Simmons is in his 70s now. So the funny thing is, the article was talking about a whole bunch of things, like he spoke about Trump, which he's against, and he used to hang with him. He said he used to hang with him back in the day, but he was more he more pointed out like what actually gets people to vote, and it's not about substance anymore. It's more about this celebrity. Pretty much, it's all about celebrity, and people vote for who they feel comfortable with, who they've seen in movies, who has the most attention, and this whole delusion and this whole facade that's put together that people really don't get to the actual important stuff of what politicians should be doing. And Trump is just another example of how people get more swept up in that illusion and the fancy and the theatrics, and it gets them to come out and vote. And he says, Trump is just another guy that has done that. And he talked about his touring, and he's talked about his other ventures after he finished his touring with Kiss. I think he's going to finish up real quick. He said he might jump out with his own band, but he's pretty much done with the Kiss thing. I mean, he's been rocking in his music. But what really got me going, they asked him about what does he think is going to happen with music, with rock music in particular, after he finishes, Kiss band, whatever. And he said it matter of factly. My man said, rock music is dead, and music in general is not fun anymore, because back in the day, you were starving artists, and now you're still a starving artist now. Now, who wants to really do music when you're only making half a penny per stream? You're not making anything. And I'm like, I feel him all the way. From the article, Gene Simmons really sounds like a down-to-earth, realistic guy when it comes to what's happening in life. And he says in music, they took the wind out the sails, and it's continuing with that same starving artist thing. And he doesn't know what's going to happen with music. And I guess you could get a little soured after being in the music business for so long, and artists getting the short end of the stick. And you're seeing with music streaming now, and the reality of it, it's like, you don't want to even do it anymore as an artist. Of course, it's always going to be fun, a passion, but you want to make this your living, and it's not easy when you have these companies that's come together with quote unquote these newfangled new great ideas. Not everything is going to be great, and then it only exploits artists. So it makes me think that eventually I'm going to come out with my own t-shirt or hat. I'm going to say, just like inspired by a certain individual with his little quote on his hat, I'm going to say, buy music again. That's going to be my saying on t-shirt or hat, buy music again. And I would like people to start like, streaming is going to be there. Is it going anyway? Yeah, it's not going anywhere anyway. And it's not, not unless the people really see it, but see the need to support artists. But people are not going to do that, man. People care more about how they're going to, get things for free. And that FREE word is better than paying $12, $10 per album, $1.99 song. And people want those sales, and it's unfortunate. And that goes across music genres. But yeah, I'm going to wear that t-shirt, buy music again, because, it's the only way where artists can be properly compensated for all the work that they do. They spend months and months in the studio, and they put in the hard work, and you would expect that they can get something in return from their fan base and from people that are not familiar with their music. Support them by buying their music, buy the album, buy the single. Digital down at that you can't get no more fair than that. Buy their music, digitally download that joint, where a percentage, of course, is going to go to iTunes or wherever you're getting it from, and a large chunk is going to go towards the artist, especially if you're an indie artist. Music streaming to me doesn't make sense, but yeah, I'm going to do a show like that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for listening to me ramble on what's going on for this week. Of course, I will come with another show next week, right? Staying on schedule. It's all about consistency and put it all there. It's been rocketed for the last couple of weeks, but I'm getting back into my rhythm. So thank you guys for listening. I'm going to get out, and you'll see some things that are coming up soon enough. I don't know when, but hopefully I could present something to you guys in another fashion, so you can get to know me more if you don't know me, but getting the word out there. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Be well, be good, take care of your siblings, love life, see your parents, make amends with people, try not to be so negative, because you never know when things are going to end. We don't know what happens tomorrow. All right, folks, that's my words to end the show off with. Thank you. I'm out. Peace.
Yo, check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. For the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go-round. From right here to your town, we out.